All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Thursday, March 20th, set today by Imogen. Oh dear. Anyway, let's see what Imogen has. Old boy back on the Bordeaux with nothing for a hot meal. Old boy can be abbreviated to OB, so I'm thinking old boy back might be BO. And then on the Bordeaux, so some kind of wine. I'm going to show my ignorance, but is that a red wine? BO red. And then with nothing could be an O. And I'm thinking it's going to be a hot meal, some kind of dish that is served hot. I think bordello fits, but that's not a hot meal. Bolognese. No, I'm not good on the food ones, I'm afraid. Uh, Ancient, relic, restaurant patron spotted, some say. Well, some say definitely sounds like a homophone indicator. I think it might be an ancient relic. It could be some obscure word for a Roman brooch or a Greek sword or something. Restaurant patron could be simply eater or something like that. Oh, diner. I like diner. And then spotted, like scene, diner scene. All of the, yeah, of course, I'm not sure about that. BO. Nervous away from the center. No. Chopstick. Okay, I think we probably have to break that in two. So maybe it's a word that means chop and a word that means stick. Maybe we even have to break it up further. C could be 100 hops and then a tick. No, I don't see it. Dressing up to do a sort of calypso. Well, sort might be hiding in plain sight, telling us to anagram calypso. And so maybe it's just a word for dressing up. Is the Y going to end up in the end? Yeah, I'm not seeing a good anagram of calypso. No, we'll move on. Let's continue with the downs. Not that I'm having much luck with them. Little star, one doing a turn round Malaysian capital. Well, maybe I need to know the capital of Malaysia, which I'm sure I do know. It's just not coming to me. Or it might simply be the letter M. In fact, I'm wondering if the definition is little, and maybe star one, which is 7 letters, has to be anagrammed around the M from Malaysian little. No, I don't see that either. Opposing the regime, native is to suffer. Opposing could be anti. Oh, and in fact, I think native is going to suffer or be anagrammed, and that starts with an anagram of anti. Oh, actually, native is to, but is, yeah, opposing the regime. Oh, anti-Soviet. Ah, there we go. That would be opposing a regime. Finally got one. All right, let's go back to the acrosses then and see if this can pay off. Press home one's advantage or scatter to the winds. Oh my goodness. Now is it simply a double definition? No. A rarely pretentious bunch. No. Extra material in university course and taking that is killing for an American. Oh, is it an American word for killing? Can't think of a specifically American. Oh, maybe a slang, like a gangster term. Yeah, don't see it. Caution packing a fine flask. Well, packing sounds like placing a word for caution. Fine can be abbreviated to F. So could it be some four-letter word for caution, care? Oh, I think the A is superfluous. I think it might be carafe. Yes, so it's the other way around. I thought the caution packing meant the caution would go inside, but actually, I suppose it's like it's packing, it's putting inside itself A and F for fine to get a flask. All right. Slowly but surely. Upon which Rabbit departs, his innings involving no runs. Well, I know that's a maiden over. I suppose you can have a maiden innings. Oh, yeah, if you, I think you go out for a duck is an innings involving upon which rabbit. Yeah, could it be something ducks? I don't know if it's something to do with the year of the rabbit. Is there a year of a duck as well? His innings. No, don't get it. Being repeatedly exercised made a bore. No. A weakness for a woman's name in Shakespeare. I think it may be a female character in Shakespeare. Maybe it's a plus a word for weakness, frailty. Oh, isn't that the quote? Frailty, thy name is woman. Let me pause and look that up. I may be completely misremembering. Yes, it is from Hamlet. I should have known that. Showing my ignorance again. All right, cream she churned, product of a goat. All right, well, I think Imogen is going a little easy on us there as far as the word play. Cream she has 8 letters, and we're going to churn that. But I don't know what a product of a goat is. Is it the the coat, the hide, the hair? Oh yeah, it could be. I don't know. Is there a special special word for goat? Wool. Yeah, let me just pause and look up goat wool. Of course, cashmere. All right. Again, that was, yeah, I definitely should have thought of cashmere. All right, night seized from behind by murderer that hangs from a tree. All right, I think it's going to be something that hangs from a tree. A leaf or a fruit or a something of a seed of some kind. Knight could be sir. But I think it can also be abbreviated to KT. Oh, it could be N in chess, but I think it might be KT since we have a T. But it does say seized from behind. I think there's going to be some reversal by murderer. Oh, could that be Cain? Yes, it is. That's exactly it. A catkin hangs from some tree that I should know what tree has a catkin, but I think they're those sort of flowery little things that hang down and probably have a lot of pollen in them. All right, let's go back to the downs. One far off, absolutely not. Ooh, off could be an anagram indicator, and one far has 6 letters. So it's the first word on or an. Oh no. No fear. Oh, yes. Like there's no fear of me doing that. Absolutely not. I like it. No ordinary people get good luck. All right. Is the middle word the? I'm thinking it's all the best. Ah, yes. So none of the ordinary people, only the best, all the best. And telling someone good luck, you might tell them, or sign off all the best. Basic principles of the weather. Uh, yeah, I think that's probably maybe just a cryptic or a double definition. I don't see it. Line of verse, neat and safe, but lacking power. Could be a word for a line of verse. I'm trying to think of some, like a triameter or a tritheme or a something. Neat and safe, but lacking power suggests we take away a P from a word that means safe. Oh, yes. Oh, there's that word that keeps coming up, Peter, for an old word for a safe. So without the um, P, it's just eater, and neat would be trim, and so a trimeter, I suppose, is a type of line of verse. Perhaps fine writer always includes regular characters in plot. I wonder if the definition is perhaps fine, like the condition of a book might be considered fine if it's in mint condition. Writer always could be pen, air, EER. And plot could be a plot of land. No, I can't see anything for that. Keep performing, securing a single engagement. Yeah, I'm just wondering about performing might mean to anagram keep, but I would have expected to see one of those letters around the outside. Securing a single might mean a, and then I for one. Engagement. No. Like the side of the face to be forward. Oh my goodness. Beginning with C. No. Sellers, for example, don't stop. Immediately think of Peter Sellers, so. But what other sellers is there another famous sellers? Don't, meaning don't stop. No. All right. Working in black, draw companion. I'm wondering if the B is short for black. Working in black, draw companion. No. Creepy, obsessive for one. Writing, avoiding, unfamiliar alphabet. Jazz trombonist has a year off for time in rural area. Trying to remember a famous jazz trombonist, J.J. Johnson and I think Kai Winding, um, Jimmy Nepper. Uh, was Jimmy Heath a trombonist? Anyway, I've probably got absolutely nothing to do with that. Or maybe there's a more famous jazz trombonist in Britain. Has a year off. Maybe their name has a Y and you take the Y away, and time in rural area, idyllic time or something. Halcyon. Assume command to get into shelter doesn't include Charlie. Well, Charlie can be abbreviated to C. I'm thinking something like not take charge. Well, maybe it's just assume. And then a command to get into shelter has a C and we remove it to get a phrase that means assume. Take heed. What would command to get into shelter be? Take cover. No, it is assume command. Take over. Of course. Very simple. Okay, that K should be easy, like the side of the face, like your cheek, and then if you're forward, maybe you're being cheeky. All right. My Sellers now has that O in it. Don't stop. It was Peter Sellers, of course, and I bet Mike was shouting this at the screen. He was one of the goons, which looks like go on. Yeah, I remember when I was younger, I picked up a cassette of, I think it had a couple of goon shows on it, and just brilliant humor. I'd never seen anything like it, or heard, I should say. Anyway, geek maybe could be a geek might be an obsessive. I don't know if they're creepy. For one, writing, avoiding unfamiliar alphabet. I'm thinking like Greek might be an unfamiliar alphabet, as in it's Greek to me. Maybe, yes, writing humorously can be one of the three R's. So I'm thinking maybe we just remove the R from Greek to get geek. We'll check that at 15 squared. All right, let's go back up to the top. You have to laugh. All right, so it's not ducks, upon which rabbit departs, his innings involving no runs. No. His innings involving no runs certainly sounds like wordplay, where maybe inside of something for his innings we put in N-O-R for no runs. I don't think it could be N-O-R-R. John Norris. No. Here's our little star one. All right, I'm going to try the dreaded anagram helper and try star one plus an M and see if we can get a word for little. No, I think yeah, let me give up and look up the Malaysian capital, which I should know, because I don't think there's an anagram there. No, let me check. Well, Kuala Lumpur, of course, is the capital. I should have known that. Um, which is far too long to be part of wordplay. Although I think it can be abbreviated. I think we may even have seen it in the crossword to KL, but still, that wouldn't be long enough for the rest of the wordplay. Yeah, so I think it, even though I couldn't see anything with star 1M, I think that's probably still my best guess. Oh, there is, I think the word enjoin, does that mean to press home one's advantage or just to push somebody or scatter to the winds? Oh, enjoin doesn't fit. What am I talking about? Um, I mean, scatter sounds like an anagram indicator, but winds only has 5 letters. No, no, no. Being repeatedly exercised made a bore. It sounds like a bore might be the definition, and maybe it is some kind of yeah, I think yeah, so it is something to do with drilling. In fact, I think it is drilled. I think it's very obviously it's intentionally phrased very confusingly, but if you are being repeatedly exercised, like by a sergeant in the army, you're being drilled. And if you made a bore in a wood, you drilled. Wow. Oh, of course, the basic principles of the elements should have thought of that. How about my working in black? Draw companion. I think it must be a companion of, oh, a stable mate. Oh, that's very clever. So a draw in chess can come from stalemate, and you have to work in B for black into stalemate to get a stable mate. This was the perhaps, yeah, I was thinking this might begin with pen. Oh, perhaps a fine might be a type of penalty. Writer always includes regular characters. Yeah, the regular characters in plot are the L and the T, and they go inside AY. Is AY, excuse me, one of those poetical terms for always? I know air, EER, but I don't think I knew AY unless we're oh, writer always. Yeah, I don't quite see that. Okay, let's try and finish the bottom half. Keep performing. Oh, I wonder if that's act, securing a single engagement. Ah, yeah, I think if you tell someone to keep performing, you might tell them to act on, and that secures, whoops, a single, a one. And I think a military engagement, you saw action. All right, here's our jazz trombonist. Has a year off for time in rural area. Let me pause and run through the alphabet for the first letter. Ah, the jazz trombonist. I think I know, I've heard of him as a band leader. I didn't know he played trombone himself, but was Jack, or sorry, not Jack, Tommy Dorsey. You take the year off, the Y off, and then add on a T. So it's one of those replacement clues. Replace the Y with a T, and you get Dorset, a rural area in England. All right. So, ancient relic, restaurant patron spotted. Oh, oh, I think I was right with diner, and I should have remembered the old dropped R or intrusive R. And so we actually get an R dropped from diner, but then an R added to saw. Diner saw becomes dinosaur. Yeah, I do not like that. Not a fan. All right, so our old boy is not BO. What? I mean, maybe it is O for old and then a boy's name backwards, but I can't think it would end in I, so that we get OI at the beginning doesn't sound likely anyway, other than oink or oingo boingo. Oh boy, back on the Bordeaux with nothing for a hot meal. Oh, I did just think of like Alfredo has red followed by O for a hot meal. Yeah, some kind of stew or something like that. Don't see it. A rarely pretentious bunch. I don't even know how to read that one. Is there wordplay or is it all? Yeah, no, we don't have anything for that. Trying to think of a short word for nervous. Cagey, maybe. Away from the center. Yeah, again, I don't even know how to read that one. Here's our chop stick. Oh, this is the one we had recently where uh, it was a double definition with words that mean the opposite. And it was cleave. I should have thought of that earlier. But if you chop two things apart, you cleave them. But if two things stick together, they cleave together. Okay. Oh, Bordeaux, of course, is also a region um, of France. Oh, maybe we have to use a French word for back, maybe? Hot meal. I'm thinking it might end in LLO, but really no reason other than maybe that sounds like Italian food. We do have the A at the beginning now. Killing for an American. Could it be extra material, like something like addendum, addenda? No. and my old rabbit friend. All right, I think just because of the time, I am going to go to wordplays.com for the first time today and look up this hot meal, what this might be. And I'll ignore the O for the moment. It is a dish I've never eaten, but I've heard of many times. And of course, there was that England World Cup song that had Vindaloo in the chorus. I think a lot of people hated it. I thought it was funny. Anyway, so old is O, I think. This O. Boy is lad, which is back. So both of those are back. On the Bordeaux is vin, the French for wine. And then you add the O for nothing to get a hot meal. Oh, the bin man cometh. So I'm going to pause. Going to take the opportunity while they're beeping outside to look over the remaining clues. Well, I took the opportunity to do an anagram of Calypso on a sheet of paper, and took me a while, but finally spotted it, and I'm very happy to see another, I think it's a modern term, cosplay. A lot of the younger folks like to dress up as their favorite video game characters or whatever as cosplay, costume play. So I bet there'll be a lot of never heard of that before harumphing going on at 15 squared. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they will all be happy to see it like I am. Anyway, so now our extra material AMP, APP, ARP, killing for an American. No. I also looked at two down. The only word I can think of for nervous is edgy. Yes. So I suppose humorous. I think maybe that one could have done with a question mark because I think it's just saying if it's at the edge, then it not in the center at the edge, then it is edgy. Yeah, I think a question mark would have been good there. So the rarely pretentious bunch. Oh, wait a minute. I completely misspelled dinosaur. I bet you were all embarrassed on my behalf for that one. Anyway, because I was just thinking there a bunch of flowers could be posy. But how is that rarely pretentious? No, no, other than pretentious has POS and then the Y from rarely. I don't know. I can't make that out at all. Let's actually go ahead and check that word. It is right, or we get the little check mark to confirm. Now to press home one's, oh no, we already had those letters, so. But 14 now. Upon which rabbit departs, his innings involve no runs. Is it going to be all ALL or air? For some reason, I'm thinking of air. I think maybe departure like an airplane. His innings involve no runs. Oh, air maybe like hair. I don't know. Yeah, let me pause and ponder that one. For some reason, the phrase all fours came to me. And so I'm thinking it is, well, a rabbit would run on all fours. And I think a cricketer who didn't actually have to run, maybe because he hit all fours or sixes too, you wouldn't have to run. But um, That's a very tricky one, I think, because I don't know, it's just like so specific, the example of all fours. Now we do at least have a question mark in that one. All right, I really should be able to get my extra material. So let me pause and think about the second letter. All right, I did have to go to 15 squared for this. And I think the answer is appendices, which would definitely be extra material. But what's so university course, is that part of the wordplay? And taking that is killing for an American. I have no idea how we're supposed to read that one. Let me go ahead and check this word. It is right again. All right, now our little star. Well, the L puts paid to it, being an anagram of star one and M. But then what is the Malaysian capital? I think that still must be an M somewhere, but where is the M? Oh, could it be another capital city? Um, or is it some kind of little star, like a dwarf or just a word for little? Yeah, let me pause and ponder that one. Well, the only word I can come up with that fits is granular. Oops, granular, which might mean little grains. I did wonder if Malaysian capital, of course, we've seen it before, where they actually are referring to the currency. I think they have the ringgit in Malaysia. I didn't see how that would work. Anyway, it's possible, of course, maybe all fours is wrong, but let's go ahead and check this word. Oh, all right. Let's go ahead and reveal it. A twinkler. Oh my goodness. Twinkle, twinkle. That's yeah. So little stars a twinkler, one doing a turn. Ah, it does have KL in the middle. I should have gone back to that. And it has twiner going around KL, a twiner, one doing a turn. All right. Oops. Press home, one's advantage are scattered to the wind. Oops. Yeah. Yeah. No idea. Let me pause and surely it's not going to begin with wind, like window, wind on. No, let me pause and ponder. Well, I'm wondering if it's win, whoops, win now to press home one's advantage and then to winnow. I think it's sort of scattering a little bit because the lighter material blows away. I think, is that how winnowing works? Anyway, finally got to the end. Let's check all. Uh, yeah, looks like everything is all right. Very tricky. Was there anything funny in this? Any theme? I don't think so. Was there a pangram? I didn't see any J's or Q's, so I don't think that. All right, let's go quickly over to 15 squared. All right, the blog today is by Peter O. Ooh, so poor old Peter, he usually uses something to format his blog and it's not functioning, so they have to cut and paste. All right, there were quite a few. Yeah, win now is to press home one's advantage. The definition is a nosegay, and the wordplay is a possible variant of posy. Ah, someone who poses, and I think rarely is saying it's an obscure word. That's very tricky. So appendices. Oh, PPE. Yes, I've heard of this course. I think it's quite common in Britain. Um, and that's and ISIS is the American slang, of course. And then 14, yeah, elusive definition. I didn't like that one. And then geek, sure enough, Greek minus one of the three R's. Wow. And then on the downs, edgy, double definition. And what number did I write there? 19. Yeah, AY is always. I need to remember that. And then the Goon Show. All right. So here's our first person saying, "Who does cosplay? New one on me." All right. Um, yeah, all fours isn't a boundary equal to run. Yeah, you score runs, but yeah, no actual running occurs, I think. Uh, so just seeing who else might have had problems with this one. Cosplay is originally a Japanese portmanteau, borrowing from costume and play. That's good. 28 clues in search of an editor. Oh, I don't know what that means anyway. Anyway, I did enjoy it. It was a good test of brain power. Anyway, thanks as always for watching and have a great day.